But I was at about a sum total at the peak of that prep, injectables plus orals, at a testosterone milligram equivalent of about 2,500 milligrams per week.
And so many of you thought that Mr. Mike, he wasn't on abusive doses, that he was only, in his words, I think he was saying he took only 120 milligrams of Tren, something like that, and that he was only on 5 milligrams of Halo each and every day. I believe that those were his words. Did anyone believe that? And so I kept saying, show me the blood work. Hey, if you have an app, Renaissance Periodation, and you're trying to brag about how healthy you are, you've shown your blood pressure, of which you're taking telmisartan and so on, other various drugs, polypharmacy to mitigate the damages of all the steroids that you're taking. By the way, you can get these things at AlgoRx. Is it not interesting that he was actually on 2,500 milligrams of androgens each and every week? And so in order for you to fully appreciate that, I'm on 140. It's over 17 times more than I'm taking. And so if you can imagine how much steroids that I'm taking, remember it's doctor prescribed testosterone from my doctor, legal. His doses were 17 times higher than that. And so when he looked out at that pond and all he felt was rage, I wonder why.
At the very end, at the tip, comparing top for top.
Did Mike just say he's a top? I mean, personally, I was betting on him being a bottom, but hey, I digress.
My total androgen load, and I did take some SARMs this time, and so those are rough conversions, was around 750 milligrams.
And so what he's saying is that this time on steroids, he only took 750 milligrams in comparison to 2,500 milligrams in the past. But remember, he says he's currently 10 times less muscle than he used to have. And so he is getting decent results, but he's not as big as he once was. And remember, this is not in prep for bodybuilding. This is just Mike in his off season. But that's still close to 5 times more than Coach Greg. And remember, he's only talking about androgens. Don't let that fool you. What about the growth hormone, the IGF-1, the various peptides? The list goes on, as well as terzipatide, Retta, who knows, Ozempic. We will never know.
And I always second guess telling you guys about gear that I use, but look, I think transparency is the ultimate teaching tool. So
if transparency was completely where it was at, why didn't he list out his cycle? 150 milligrams of this, 200 milligrams of that, this much Tren, this much Mastrone, this much Equipoise, this much growth hormone, this much insulin injected this many times per day. When you just say, oh, it added up to 750 milligrams, and you don't talk about the growth hormone, the insulin, and so on, is that fully being transparent? That'd be like saying, hey guys, I want to be transparent about my New Year's, what exactly that I took. I drank beer. You leave out the vodka, the sniffing creatine, or doing all those things laced with math. Or what about those 4 OF fans and those girls that you paid for? What about all of that? Oh, I'm totally transparent. I was drinking beer. If not totally transparent, if you're leaving out half of everything.
And don't copy people like me. Sure shit about me. I do a lot of crap that's really stupid. Don't do anything dumb.
Yeah, don't do anything dumb like copy Mr. Mike's. It's the first smart thing that he stated.
Now, what can you take away?
Here, this is what you can take away. Don't bother to get some bullshit fat sucking out surgery. You don't need it. If you want to lose weight, you go in a deficit. If you're struggling and you don't have a lot of willpower, like Mr. Mike, who stated he has more willpower than almost anyone, that if you give him a year, he'll be an expert at whatever you do best. Well, the truth is he needs drugs, polypharmacy, in order to lose weight. And so what you've learned is if you don't have any willpower and you don't want to get my cookbook, you can buy a bunch of drugs to help you to lose weight. There you go. You want to get them from AlgoRx, be my guest, click the link in the description, use code Greg for 10% off. If you want to lose weight the old-fashioned way, you can get my cookbook. You can purchase the GO2 Max, the Turk Builder, the GLP Max, and a list of other supplements like G-Test, Platinum, Creatine, pre-workouts. you got it going on. Rather than pure protein bars, you can get CICO bars, code CICO, 50% off. It's only $20, 21 grams of protein, 230 calories, amazing taste.
The Kaiko bar. Not bad. Great macros. Thank you, Greg.
I said I could have left out the retraining parts. I'm not going to do that because I'm saving my being a piece of shit vibes for some other stuff.
Because he's not an idiot. He's not doing that because he's not stupid. He has to give you something. He has to say, you know, I did 750 milligrams of stuff. He's not going to say exactly what he took. It's just, hey, I don't want you to think that I made all these gains just for my app, so I took stuff. You know, 750 milligrams. Before it was 2,500, but my app is so good that 750 milligrams, it was enough. He tries to convince you that he doesn't sell snake oil, that he's just a good man, that other people selling products, that they're just scammers, that they're sociopaths. But does anyone believe this? Enrique, release the PhD files. This is the man, the same man who lied about everything. The man whose twin towers, along with Jeff Nipa, well, they came tumbling down.
And so a bunch of the reason I got these results was because I wasn't training much and taking many steroids, and then I started taking many more steroids and training a lot.
And so, full disclosure, he started taking steroids and started training a lot. Add to that, it wasn't just steroids, it was growth hormone, probably insulin, bunch of peptides, and Retta, which is an experimental GLP-1, which may in fact be prescribed later, as well as terzipatide. And so, them's the truth.
And that's the second point. Drugs are real. So going from 150 milligrams-ish to 750 milligrams of androgen exposure is going to cause massive muscle growth.
I really like how he strategically put this at the 30-minute plus point of the video, of which approximately 80% of the people have already tuned out. And so most people see the start of the video and you think, wow, he did all these amazing things. He doesn't even mention Retta or terzipatide until the very end. I wonder why that is. And so how is he any different than the people that he's been calling out? Oh, they sell snake oil. Oh, they're lying.
Enrique!
Really? How is this different?
Dr. Mike here for RP Strength.
Here's the deal. I use these substances to ease steroid-induced hunger. For me is a huge thing. When I'm not taking a whole lot of steroids, I'm not really that hungry. When I'm taking more steroids, I can eat my own hand.
Isn't it cute how he says, you know, I take these, you know, gray market GLPs, and it's 33 minutes into the video right now, and he says he takes that because when he takes steroids, it makes his hunger go up a lot, and so he's just like, you know, shutting down the hunger from the steroids. And he's also previously said he has more willpower than anyone. And so Charlie Kirk...
If you find photos like this or Kirkified images funny, you need to reevaluate your maturity level.
They're unspeakable.
And so Charlie Kirk... Is it his app that meticulously tracks calories? Or is it 100% the drugs? I mean, think of his diet. Cheesy puffs and 4 protein bars for a meal. Do you really think he knows anything about dieting, contest prep, cardio, and so on? Or is he just getting by because he's on a shit ton of drugs?
Nothing beats
It's a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can...
consistency in a high-protein, healthy, calorie-deficit diet with moderate to high activity, 10,000-ish steps.
You know what beats that? Taking the drugs to allow you to do that, Mike. You couldn't do that without the drugs. Nothing beats consistency in a high-protein, calorie deficit with moderate, high activity and lots of healthy food while weight training regular. Nothing beats that, of which you can't do without the drugs. You see the difference? See the difference between me and you, Mike? I can do all of those things without all of your drugs.
This is the formula for transformation, period. You can use all the drugs in the world. If you do this either by itself or on top, that's what really does the thing.
Mike, the drugs allowed you to do that. You're bragging about this is it, drugs is just icing on the cake. No, that is the cake. The drugs is why you're losing weight. It's why you have muscle. If you take those things out, you are not lean. I don't care how many surgeries you get to suck out all that fat. If you weren't on steroids, if you weren't on GLP-1s, you would be a fat, and as Dorian Yates said, a bigger bag of shit is
still a bag of shit. You know what I mean, mate?
Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. To get the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, don't forget to enter code Greg for 15% off. AlgoRx code Greg, 10% off. Click the links, buy the stuff, and until next time, I'm out. Enrique!